Shalom, and welcome back to B'nai Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. When you look at the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 24 specifically, but generally, if you look from the beginning of the chapter, where it describes, actually from verse 11 and on, okay, describes what they were supposed to do when they entered the land of Israel. And they were supposed to divide the tribes and stand on opposite mountains. And then the Levites was to stand in the valley and to give the blessings and the opposite of blessings, the curses, for very specific types of transgressions. I want to focus in on verse 24, as I said, where it says, Arur makeh re'ehu basater, cursed be the one who strikes down a fellow in secret. And all should respond and say, Amen. Amen. What is this striking down somebody in secret? And somebody who strikes someone down in public, someone who kills someone in a public place is not to be cursed? Somebody who curses somebody only in secret? Obviously, we're talking about striking someone down through something that comes in a very secretive manner. And I will call it the secret killer. And this is called Lashon Hara, or in English, literally translated, evil tongue, evil speech, or evil gossip. And how terrible it is that it has such an enduring effect, and enduring in a very negative manner. It has such a lingering effect. And unfortunately, it is typically done in secret, meaning it's not done in public. One typically does not have the guts or the gall to go with a person in public and openly chastise them, openly speak negative about them, either because A, it's not true, or because they just don't have the guts, even if it is true. But instead, people find it almost totally okay and innocent to just talk about other people, to paint scenarios about other people, whether it's true or not, whether it's authenticated or not. But the fact is that the people who hear it, the people who absorb the information, for them, it leaves an indelible effect and impression on their minds and on their opinion, thus perhaps even their attitude towards that person who's been spoken about. I can tell you from my own personal experiences. There are things that I've heard about other people, which I wish I would have never heard. Because after I got to know those people, or to better appreciate the circumstances and get the full picture, in most cases, I came around to learn that this person actually is a good person. And in fact, many times I found out that people are very virtuous people. But you cannot unhear, you cannot unsee things. And it's very, very difficult to change the very first impression you got. And sadly, if you got that impression, especially even if you knew the person already, but the impression of that particular incident or that type of occurrence, it's very hard to get, almost impossible to get it out of your mind. And thus the Torah says, someone who does this is cursed, because you have brought about an inherent curse. You therefore are inherently cursed, because when you talk about others, when you give off an impression of others, even if it's not substantiated, even if it's not true, but the people who hear you believe it, even if they don't fully believe it, but they are very impressionable, they get impressed by it, and you have to be very, very careful how you speak about others. Today, we live in a time that people have absolutely no hesitation in, just clicking negativity, just giving comments that are negative, just responding or giving bad reviews, without ever taking a moment to think of the ramifications of it. Even if you're upset, even if someone has done you wrong, really, are you going to post something now on the internet that's going to stay there forever? Even maybe after that person has asked your forgiveness and you've generally forgiven, but you can't undo it. In most cases, you cannot remove that post, and it's there. And what if that causes others to carry on with it and to further embellish it or to elaborate on it, even if there is truth there? That's your doing because you started it. You set it all into motion. So I think this should be a lesson that we need to be very careful. And as a society cannot flourish, cannot continue on if people are continuously talking bad about each other, especially behind their backs. And that's why perhaps can be the most important reason why God said this is the first order of business before you actually enter the land. As you're about to enter the land, this is one of the most important things in life. Yes, this that has to be dealt with and has to be announced and has to be reminded to the people that this is an inherent curse if you do engage in this. So this should give us a lesson how to be more careful with the way we talk about each other, the way we talk about others.